Hello, guys and girls. It is I, Aaron Halo 18 here. Or you can call me, Aaron Halo 18. And my video will be about Halo 5 Guardians Discussion Series, Episode 41, I believe. And I'm going to read 50 Caliber by Cannon, forward by Grim Brother. And it's issue 50 of his article, discussion about. It's it was on yesterday. I mean the 16th of November, I believe. And he says, "Well, folks, welcome back. As you might have noticed, you were greeted with a mighty impressive number to open this week's installment. The fact that we are up to 50 issues and still running strong is a testament to you. Halo's diverse, passionate, and incredible fan base. This week begins our first forays into what can be considered spoiler territory for Halo 5 Guardians. In the coming weeks, we'll be looking closer at some of the scattered technology seen throughout the campaign and multiplayer play spaces. Looking at how the Hunt the Truth Season 2 tied into the connected events and yes, we'll be talking soon about these Sangheli ships you've all been clamoring about. Halo 5 Guardians represents a paradigm shift in the state of the Halo universe, all at once turning once standard conventions on their head, while also resonating with echoes of past initiatives and ancient intentions. Needless to say, we have observed a lenity of fan speculation regarding a number of different aspects of the story. As we button up the year that has been and look ahead to times still to come, we're excited to share and experience with you the next steps in Halo's narrative evolution and journey. To kick us off today, we wanted to give you some particularly insightful perspectives from a creative mind close to the progress. So I grabbed Halo 5 Guardians lead writer Brian Reed to get his thoughts on the game experience and how it took shape. I think these articles are pretty cool. So there's our community news from Halo Waypoint as well. Read between the lines. Jess, okay, I'll continue reading now. It says, read between the lines. They used his last name for this next title, by the way. I'll continue to read it out. Jeff asked me if I do a post mortem on creating the Halo 5 story, which is practically a topic for a book. And, oh yeah, guys and girls, I signed a petition for Halo for the people who made Halo to bring back split screen. By the way, and my best friend Zach signed it as well. But, yeah, I'll continue now. But after thinking about it, I thought it might actually serve as a nice window on the world of game development to walk through just one tiny bit of the mountain that is Halo 5. The first thing to know about making a game with the size and scope of a Halo title is that every second of every day, across a team of hundreds, there are decisions being made. And each of those decisions eventually informs or invalidates every other decision being made, sometimes simultaneously. Every polygon, every line of dialogue, every texture, every map goes through this same craziness. To illustrate just the tiniest part of this process, let's look at how we approach developing Fireteam Orias. The story of Orias actually begins with Fireteam Majestic, because in a nearby parallel universe, they are the stars of Halo 5. When I was first talking to Frank O'Connor about joining 343, he made it clear there was a desire to expand the Halo universe's character, roster, and games. This had already started during Halo 4, with the introduction of characters like Captain Lasky and Palmer, would continue into Halo 4 Spartan Ops, with Roland, Dr. Glassman, and multiple other Spartans and fire teams, including Fireteam Majestic. As creative director Tim Longo came on board in the story of Master Chief and Cortana developed, it became clear that Majestic was the wrong team to send into the field for this mission. So we put Majestic on the bench and created a purpose-built team. They would be Fireteam Kodak or maybe Fireteam Artemis. Fireteam Zodiac. If you ever wish to experience madness, get involved in a naming discussion for a massive project. There will be whiteboards covered in candidates, and email threads that go on for days, as every person in every department, from game design to consumer products, has an opinion on why every name is wrong except the one they like. So before anybody or anything gets a real name, we use a lot of code names. That's why we started Fireteam Kodiak / Artemis / Zodiac with Spartans Smith, Jones, and Brown. The three of them were blank slates. They weren't even made They weren't even female. They weren't even male or female at this stage. They were just our new fire team, and they would help us with the stated goal that Halo 5 was to be a co-op focused game. The first goal for the narrative team was to figure out who would lead the new fire team. We started working on the idea that Spartan Smith might have been an Oni agent recruited into Spartans, initially discussing Smith as the child of James Bond and Laura Croft. Laura Croft. Because those characters each had traits we wanted our lead to have. Smith was to be the Spartan you sent into impossible places to find targets that didn't want to be found. This idea led us to the creation of Oni acquisitions, and we started to think of Smith as a person who was once basically a hitman for Oni, but had recently taken on the mantle of the hero. This gave us a character who had spent their military career making sure you didn't know who they were, and decided that we know them mostly through their actions and the way they spoke to their teammates. Once we loosely knew who our lead was, we started assembling the rest of the team, even though we didn't think Majestic as a group fit the mission of Halo 5. We liked Thorn as a character, and we wanted him involved. His way of looking at the world as a potentially good place would pair nicely with Spartan Smith's more cynical, every target is just another target. Thorn would also serve as a Spartan the fans would know from a previous product, and would lend the new kids of the block an air of legitimacy. We liked Palmer too, and toyed with the idea of her deploying on this mission alongside Smith instead of Thorn. Then we thought maybe they'd both be on the team. For a few weeks, we had Smith, Thorn, Palmer, and Spartan Jones, who would be a Spartan flute in an alien language, a Spartan fluent in alien languages. As we put the story on its feet, we began fleshing out the characters and got to know our fire team pretty well. Spartan Jones became Spartan Vasper, in part because nobody could keep the names Smith and Jones straight. But she was proving to be too kid genius, so we worked on maturing her voice a bit while still retaining enough of her innocence that she could marvel at Singhili ruins or ask Smith why he would help a man he was once planning to assassinate. The first big and permanent change to the team came when we hit on the idea of Mandarin being a glass planet outside of the UNSC's jurisdiction. We wanted someone who could act as our window into that world and replace Palmer. It was needed elsewhere in the Halo 5 story anyway. With Spartan's song, her history started as grew up outside the UNSC and came to include her surviving the glassing of her home world. At this point, we were months and months into development, and Thorn was working quite nicely with us, with the group, since his personality matched nicely with the other Spartans. He hunted and killed like Smith, seen loss like Song, and had a certain wonder at the galaxy like Vesper. Since everything was going so well, we should have been surprised when the scheduling gods saw fit to throw us a curve. Ethan Peck, the actor who plays Thorn, was unavailable due to a conflicting project, and we really didn't want to have his face with a different actor's voice after we'd gotten to know Thorn so well in Halo 4. With Thorn out of Arias, we discussed what personality would fit best with the rest of the team. We talked about a whole new Spartan, but we still wanted someone established. We toyed with the possibility of a member of Blue Team, but it never felt right. Someone jokingly suggested we use Buck since his trivial attitude would work well as a counterpoint to Smith's all-business personality. To be able to get Song to open up about her past, and the difference in characters' ages meant he'd get to have a sort of kid-sister thing with Vesper. The fact that Buck was a fan favorite and promoting him to Spartan would be exciting. Both worked to get us pretty excited about the idea. But I say jokingly suggested because joking around. Jay jokingly suggested because it was never going to happen. Right? There was no way Nathan Fillion had the time with his work on a little hit TV show called Castle. Yet by some series of scheduling miracles, I still didn't fully understand. He did. As we moved into casting actors and recording dialogue, we settled on our final character names: Smith became Locke, Vesper and Song became Vale and Tenka. Their characters continued to mature, and Fireteam Orion, as you know, them began to take shape. So back to that thing I said at the beginning about decisions. This has been a lightning fast 1,000-ish word version of 2+ years of craziness. And that's just for those 4 characters. Now, extra polite that out across the game and multiplied by infinity. Literally, every facet of every piece of Halo is touched by hundreds of developers. There's a handful of us that get to make decisions on what makes the cut and what doesn't. But the truth is, we have an army at our backs. It's an amazing team to be part of, and a privilege. To all of you outside of the halls of 343 who are reading this, thanks for joining us on this adventure, as well as those yet to come. Brian Reed. Sustainable Armory. Very soon we'll be dropping the first sustained salvo for Halo 5 Guardians, and among the new modes, maps, and skins contained in the Battle of Shadow and Light. Update will be some delicious new armor to try and snag in your upcoming rec pack opening. Extra advantages. While we've dropped a couple subtle hints along the way. Extra. I can't say that word correctly. I'm sorry. I usually can, but we thought it would be nice to give you the lore love you long for. Let's scope out the story skinny behind Shinobi and Tracer. Gambas? I don't know. Shinobi discovered aboard a derelict freighter in Lucille Line 352. Shamboy armor has no known manufacturer or intended user. Oni continues to probe the recovered suits to unlock what appears to be several levels of restricted functionality. Shinobi's core systems to remain cryptic black boxes to UNSC analysts, despite Oni's successes in integrating the Shinobi helmet with standard Gen 2 Moderna tech suits and Spartan neural interfaces. Though aware of the inherent risks involved, Oni has authorized limited testing of the Shinobi armor for a select few classified S4 operatives, Spartan 4 operatives. Next one is Tracer. Tracer class armor combines features of other field intelligence data collection Moderna variants into a new and integrated package. The Tracer helmet features a Tier 3 data core, the first portable example of such a high-end computational system, and a significant upgrade over that found in earlier baseline Gen 2. Additionally, Shinobi's boasts that the Tracer has most of the operational capabilities of both the engineer and tracker suits. Tracer is a mixture of engineer and tracker suit, actually. That's pretty cool that they're mixing other suits with other suits. I think that's pretty awesome. And the Tracer and Shinobi are red armor, I believe. I'm sure you can customize them wherever color you want them to be, as well, I think. Next one is about truth and reconciliation. Show CH00 path 1NG4. What was the name of the Marathon class cruiser destroyed by the Day of Jubilation during Sean 117's EVA excursion to return the bomb during the Battle of Earth? Answer, the UNSC feeling. Lucky fought valiantly as part of the UNSC Navy's 5th Fleet at the Battle for Earth. Ford Falcon 1997 said, how did Drew Madem lose control over the Dynex Prometheans as of Halo 5? The extent of Madam's perceived control. Answer, the answer is the extent of Madam's perceived control over Promethean forces during the campaign on Requiem was largely based on influence and intent on the part of the Dynex himself, and less on any true sway the Singhili commander actually possessed over his temporary allies. By the time Jewel arrived on Kamchatka, the Promethean forces were under a completely new influence. Next guy is 8Walk 326413. Said, will we ever get to see the Decimator class Sojourner in Halo 5? B. Is the SPI armor still in use among Spartan 3s, or has it been completely replaced by Gen 2 Sojourner armor? A. A. Yes. B. While SPI has been mostly phased out of use by Spartan 3 operatives, some of the photoreactive plating technology has been limited but successful use in several Spec Ops ODST units. Zoran Rebel said, what is the name of the commander who led the Covenant at the Battle of Sion? Answer. While the Battle of Sion was led by several various undisclosed Covenant commanders, one Singhili general who could be identified as Katun Arach, who by some accounts was rumored to have stormed the hill on Kamchatka, aided by an unlikely, albeit temporary, alliance with Fireteam Orion. While certainly intriguing given the possible implications, these particular reports cannot be confirmed. Only fileless. So normally at the end of each issue of Canon Folder, we highlight the latest new and/or updated articles to populate the Universe Encyclopedia function on Halo Waypoint and the Halo channel. This week, we thought we might do just a bit more. So in addition to our normal lore load, we're also excited to introduce you to a brand new section of the Universe Encyclopedia. Encyclopedia only files. Many Halo fans have long adored this franchise's tradition of dueling out lore morsels dupled throughout scattered data drops and disclosed documents. While much fun has been laid over the years by fans, finding these gems hidden throughout everything, from forum samples to game manuals to map reveals, it can make things a bit harder to keep track of sometimes. With that in mind, we wanted to create a place where new fans can make old discoveries and old fans can make new speculation all in one handy location. Within the ONI files section, you'll find all sorts of story supporting sweetness, from the Halo 3 terminals to the 11th hour reports, some even featuring some enhanced formatting to help make the narrative a bit more digestible. We certainly hope you enjoy digging through the information as much as we enjoyed collecting it. Continue to keep an eye on the new area as well. We'll be adding more documents from time to time. Some you may have already seen, while others perhaps not so much. Next one is the end of the article is jackpot. I'm pretty sure the 8th day of creation was reserved for the angelic souls that keep up our fabulous consumer products department, as it's always a fun time when they descend upon us from their heavenly upstairs Adobe to grace us with gifts and good tidings. Even more delightful when the opportunity presents itself for us to share those gifts with the Halo community. And in honor of Cannon Folder's 50th, we have a few things we'd like to share. Up for celebratory grabs are copies of Halo 5 Guardians, Halo 5 Guardians OST, and Vanilla Halo Hunters in the Dark, signed by some of the world-weaving story crew here at 343 Industries, and some awesome Halo Mega Block sets. To enter for a chance to win, all you need to do is tweet me at GrimBrother1 with the hashtag Cannon Folder and let us know your favorite aspect of the Halo fiction. Winners will be randomly drawn and announced at next week's issue. Who knows? Maybe I'll convince Catalog to pull names from the hat. For an example, for an extra chance to enter, simply post in this issue's discussion thread linked down below. Good luck. And with that, we close for another spell. From me personally, thanks to each and every one of you that grace these weekly pages with your eager eyeballs and to communicate your passion for the Halo universe. It's an absolute honor to share that passion with you, all for a few moments each week, and can't wait to show you what's still in store. Until next week, live well, play Halo, and here's to another 50. The new section is ONI Files. ONI Files is a collection of clandestine documents gathered from obscure sources. And the entries for this week are Wajourner, the brainchild of Dr. Halsey. Wajourner, snap-powered assault armor, has become the legendary combat counterpart to the Spartan program. The next one is Urgent Moon. Urgent Moon was an ONI-controlled research facility where unauthorized and potentially dangerous biological testing was allegedly carried out. Kraken. capable of leveling enemy defenses and subduing entrenched fortifications in mere seconds. The Kraken is the most powerful siege engine utilized by the Covenant. Modular powered assault armor. Manufacturer, materials, group, location, Damascus, Vakim, Zuccheri 4, testing site, Damascus testing facility. As the counterpart to the Spartan program. When perfected, modular armor would enhance the combat abilities of the Spartan super soldiers far beyond what their psychological augmentations were already capable of. Throughout its decades of development and refinement, modular became more than just a suit of armor. It became a symbol of humanity's ingenuity, adaptability, and fortitude in the face of impossible odds. Prototypes. 3 generations of combat exoskeletons predestined Dr. Halsey's work. The Mark I built suit was the UNSC's first attempt at creating powered exoskeletons, though it remained a tethered testing platform during the entire span of its development. Mark II armor was similar to the Mark I, with instrumental improvements in mobility and ease of use. Mark III was the first battlesuit to successfully operate without a tether, though the suit had to stay within range of a bulky, immobile broadcast power generator. Generation 1, Gen 1. Gen 1 modular armor is characterized by highly idiosyncratic permutations and a high degree of personalization and performance tuning for each Spartan super soldier. Mark IV. The Mark IV ushered in a new era for military technology and it served as the basis for all preceding modular designs. It pioneered a compact fusion reactor that allowed for enhanced speed and strength, advanced neural interface, controls, and the latest in composite armor technology, coupled with the physical augmentations and reaction times of Spartan 2 super soldiers. It proved to be a game changer in the war against the Covenant. Upgrades and permutations of the Mark IV remained in use until after the Covenant, or Mark V. Considered an interim designed by many, the MK V armor featured a more powerful fusion reactor, which allowed for the incorporation of energy shields, a feature that would prove vital to Spartan survivability. The Mark V platform also allowed for the housing of a smart AI within the suit's microframe, meaning that the user could combine enhanced reflexes and strength with unrivalable access to battlefield networks and real-time intelligence assessments. Mark VI. Mark VI contained upgrades to nearly every aspect of the previous Mark V version. Improvements were made to the armor's shielding against plasma-based weaponry, and a biofoam injector was added, increasing the chances for a wearer to survive more serious injury without immediate or external medical attention. In addition to these improvements, Mark 6 also introduced further mission pre-mutation packages, as well as upgrades to system reliability, redundancy, and ease of repair. Mark 7, loosely conceptualized by Dr. Halsey as early as 2535 CE. The Mark 7 never saw full production due to its complexity and expense. The Mark 7 featured limited energy shield shaping and an advanced nanotechnology repair suit. Ultimately, the UNSC determined that continuing to iterate on the Spartan 2 focused Gen 1 platform would significantly diminishing returns, particularly in light of escalating costs and capabilities of the new Spartan 3 and Spartan 4. Sorry about that, guys and girls. I was trying to lift my head up. Generation 2. Generation 2 mature art production uses a spiral development model, allowing the UNSC and its various corporate partners to iterate and evolve armor systems much faster and more efficiently than before. Primarily developed for the newer Spartan 4 program. Gen 2 mature focus on integrating the vast majority of the armor's vital hardware systems within the inner tech suit itself, allowed for more streamlined production and easier implementation of specialized subsystems and amateurs. Can you give us that there now?
Sure. That was me.
R4. And that's it for the Moderna armor. Next one is Urgent Mood Research Facility. Affiliation only. Purpose Research and Development. And enter service May 7, 2553. Destroyed October 23rd, 2558. Summary: there have long been reports that only Currently, experiments with technology retrieved from the Halo installations using standalone production facilities as remote test platforms to conduct potentially hazardous research. So it had been speculated that Agent Urgent Moon was once suit. It wasn't until recovery efforts found traces of unsanctioned stealth technology and documentation of an experimental biological weapon. In its records that those suspicions were confirmed. Designed the Urgent Moon while loosely resembling some of the deep survey craft designs of the 22nd century, is actually not a ship at all, but rather a large-scale production planet with navigation and operation controls at the fore and maneuvering propulsion systems aft. The bulk of Moon's activity occurs in between these. Within a massive city-sized superstructure, it's here that owning crews to work on a highly classified and experimental projects, as well as a variety of weapons testing. And the history Urgent Moon's existence remained a secret for years until it accidentally was destroyed, leaving investigators to shift through the debris for clues. Although the Moon's shipboard AI was irreparably damaged when the station exploded, salvage data suggested the station's laboratories were dedicated to producing a weaponized biological agent which would remain dormant and asthmatic as it spread through a population before being activated by an otherwise harmless or so present. Partial station records further reveal that laboratory containment was breached. In Urgent Moon's research and habitation areas were exposed to a particularly aggressive form of the agent. Contamination was total, and the strain's high fatality rate resulted in the total elimination of the crew. The quarantine protocol was automatically engaged. None of Urgent Moon's mandated warning beacons successfully deployed. The empty station drifted until it was boarded by a group of TKR scavengers, who in turn sold their find to Jewel Madam's Covenant, ignorant of any biological threat. Madam's team boarded the Urgent Moon soon after the station was destroyed, and with little indication of the cause. That's it about Urgent Moon. The last one is about the Kraken. Kraken T-55 Ultra Heavy Siege Tower. Manufacturer unknown. Crew 10 plus 250 passengers. Summary: the Kraken is generally developed by a capital ship from a suborbital location, dropping quickly to the surface of a world while moving into an effective position. Once in place, the siege tower can relentlessly beset an enemy site through the firing of stationary weapon emplacements developed of individual strike forces, or even physically ripping apart an opponent's fortified structures with his 3 grapples. Designed, the Kraken is an ultra-heavy siege tower, a massive Covenant sky fortress with 3 powerful grappler arms capable of physically crushing and moving mountain-sized objects. The Carapace's main assault platform is augmented with stationary weapons, aircraft, and infantry, and is used as a staging site for localized incursions, allowing it to roll through enemy defenses like a tsunami. History: some human records indicate that the Kraken may have been encountered earlier in the war with the Covenant, but none survived to confirm it. Only after the war, under the direction of Jumadam, did the Covenant leverage Krakens in some level of regularity. It's commonly held that these siege towers were originally based on a variant of Forerunner Sentinels used during their war with the Flood, discovered in a relicquary of mothballed ordnance before being created by the Covenant. Resurgence. It is effort to return the Covenant to prominence. Jumadam managed to secure several weapons, caches belonging to the old guard. This included a number of Krakens. Although early on his Tahi, he utilized them sparingly, wanting to avoid tipping his hand. In October 2558, the Covenant deployed them in Massey, one to crack Kamchatka and another to Sekelios. This aggressive move would mark their first real engagement. The UNSC would have these incredibly destructive machines. Though it would not be the last. That's it about the Kraken. There's audio files, there's conversations from the universe, cold storage reports, 11th hour reports. There's Halo 3 terminals part 1, 2, part 1 and 2, Operation Red Flag / 93893. A daring plan, a turning point in the war where it's so easy. Reverse terminals by Halo 3, Forerunner Communications, regarding the encroaching flood. Next part 2 is reports from a Forerunner AI and a legendary betrayal. And the 11th hour reports, high-level ONI communications regarding the nature and opportunities of the post-war landscape. Cold Storage Wars reports says it's following to excerpts, some insight into Delta Halo, limited tangent, and perhaps more importantly, the Flood. First one is conversations from the universe, exchanges from scattered sources. POA Tech Communications, technical communications regarding upgrades to the UNSC Pillar of Autumn. And the last one is Reach Data Drops, high-level communications regarding the Covenant's arrival. On Reach. That's pretty cool stuff. I agree. I'm pretty excited about all this stuff. I'll probably read into it later or something like that. I'm not gonna do the video though. It'll be too long. It'll be way too long. I don't want to make it too long. And what do you think of my video today? Any questions? Any thoughts? Any opinions? What do you think? I think it's pretty cool. I'm really getting into the lore of Halo, like I'm getting into the Lord more than ever before. Is what I was trying to say. And yeah, I gotta. I go to bed early now. I go to bed around like 10 o'clock. I think that's what my mom and dad want me to go to bed around 10 to 10:30 or something like that. That's the time I get ready, and then it's lights out at 11 for me. And they want me to wake up early in the morning too, as well, so that they can help my breathing and stuff. And I hope that my breathing will get better and improve. I've been coughing for 6 weeks now, and yeah. And also I went to the doctor this week too, with Dr. Rouser and stuff like that. And it was pretty good. And he recommended an ears, nose, and throat doctor for me. And the ears, nose, and throat doctor does children and adults. And some technique to lower my head down and feet above my head to help with breathing or something like that. I have a hospitalized medical electrical bed I'm trying to figure out, but the tilt feature is not working too well on my bed. And I like to share a little bit of my life stories to you in the videos I do as well. And also, I wear a nasal pillow breathing machine that helps me to breathe, and it's at 420 now to help me take deeper breaths. And I should be doing the vest more often for 20 minutes twice a day. And I should do a little bit more Zomadex too to help me breathe or open my lungs, my air passage to breathe better. I don't know why I'm sharing these details, but it's thought it would be interesting. And yes, I'm in a powered wheelchair also. And I create the videos through using the YouTube website. I guess under the upload thing. So you can, I have my own video camera. So that's how I'm recording these videos for you. And please sign that petition. I can't wait for this petition to be accomplished and for them to add split screen to Halo in the future and in Halo 5. I think it was ridiculous that they didn't have split screen. You know, the reason why I want split screen is because I want to have parties and play with my friends and stuff, so that they can have another controller, multiple controllers to play with all at once. And split screen is part of Halo, and I think it would be really cool if they had that in there. Maybe they can update it where they can have split screen or something like that. I don't know. I really want split screen. And I want better loadout customization as well. I gotta wrap it up soon. So, that's all I have to say. So, please rate, comment, like, favorite, subscribe, views, thoughts, and opinions. And I hope you liked it and enjoyed it for your viewing pleasure, guys and girls. And stay tuned for more, guys and girls. And as always, please drink some hot chocolate, like Ghost River says. And I will see you all later. And this is Aaron Halo 18 signing off. Goodbye.